I love my Catholic brothers and sisters, but they got it wrong on justification by works. It seems like when I talk to my Catholic brothers and sisters, they always want to bring up James chapter 2. They don't have any other passage to bring up. They don't bring up Ephesians chapter 2, where Paul says in verse 8, by grace have we saved through faith and not of works, so that no one can boast. They don't like to bring up Romans chapter 4, where it says in verse 3, what does it say? Abraham believed God, and his belief was credited to him as righteousness. They don't like to talk about the fact that Paul differentiates between receiving a gift versus earning something through a wage. And he's saying that under the old law, you earned, at least you thought you earned justification by working for it, but they never did. But he's showing us that we receive justification by faith, not by works. Yet the Catholic Church does keep coming back to James chapter 2. But they miss something in James chapter 2. And what is it that they miss? Here's what James chapter 2 says in verse 21. Was not our father Abraham considered righteous? Didn't say he was righteous. He was only considered righteous by humans, in other words, for what he did when he offered his son Isaac on the altar. You see that his faith and his actions were working together, and his faith was made complete by what he did. And the scripture was fulfilled that says, Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness. What the Catholic Church fails to understand is, when was Abraham made righteous in God's sight? He was made righteous in Genesis 15 when he believed God. And at that moment of belief, it was credited to him as righteousness. Now, James gives the illustration of Abraham offering his son Isaac, which takes place 20 years later. And when he offers his son, James says, you see, his faith was genuine. His works were working with his faith. But James realizes that Abraham was justified 20 years by faith alone before he offered his son Isaac. What James is trying to show us is that our faith has to be genuine. And if we have genuine faith, then at the moment we believe, we are saved and justified. So I ask my Catholic brothers and sisters this one question. When was Abraham justified? Before he offered his son Isaac or afterwards? It was before.